Iran has been saying for days that it has to retaliate for this attack on its diplomatic compound in Syria. It viewed that attack as really an assault on its own soil because of the nature of it. It's been saying it's going to do something. So really now it does have to do something. The question is what? And what we know now is the US intelligence assessment of the US and its allies is that retaliation could take a range of forms. It could be as unusual and strong as a direct missile strike by Iran on Israeli soil. That would be the big option. It could also take the form of going through its proxies in the region, again, Hezbollah or some such. But it's significant enough, the intelligence, that the US is willing to share it and to publicise it, which shows the level of concern that Iran is going to do something. Of course, we've been expecting it for days. The question is what? And it's very, very interesting to see the intelligence showing that a missile strike from Iran on Israel is possibly on the table.
It's interesting. We're talking about this and just from a kind of financial network perspective, not to put aside the potential humanitarian toll added, but this is exactly what the oil markets are worried about, what the ripple effects are. What does this mean for Iranian output on oil for the rest of the market, which, by the way, is an inflationary story at the core of it. At the same time, you have to talk about where the negotiations with Hamas actually are on the hostages. There is calls repeatedly on ceasefires from the likes of President Biden and other leaders around the world. Where are we on those negotiations?
Well, it's interesting because, as you say, with oil, for example, this war in Gaza has been going on for 6 months. The disruptions to Red Sea shipping by the Houthis have been going on. Oil's not really reacted to that. After the strike on the Iranian compound, oil did react because now people are saying, hang on, this conflict could spread. This could become much more widespread in the region. It could pull in Iran, could pull in the US. Then you've got disruptions to supply. Then you've got a really big effect on the global economy. So people are worried about the knock-on effect, but they're also still worried about the conflict inside Gaza. And there, we still don't have a ceasefire. We do know Israel has pulled some of its troops back to prepare potentially for an assault on Rafah, but a lot of that depends on whether they can get these talks to get this ceasefire, and that depends on the state of the hostages. And what we can see from the reporting in the New York Times is that Hamas is saying they actually don't know where some of these hostages are. They don't know the state of many of them, and they can't guarantee that. And that's a precondition that Israel has said it wants met in order to agree to a ceasefire.